And just to capture the session 1, where we try to understand the basics of project management. So the presentation or the session 2 will start with the importance of project management. Now we can understand the importance of project management after session 1, basics understanding. So the project management enables organizations to execute projects effectively and efficiently. Effective project management helps individuals, groups, and public and private organizations to meet business objective. With the help of project management, we are able to meet the business objective. We are able to satisfy stakeholders' expectations. We become more predictable because what we are doing will be surfaced as a result, and we know what is an impact of what we are doing. So we become more predictable through project management implementation. We are increasing our chance of success because we are improvising. We are adding value to our business. Delivering the right product at right time. This is also very important. In project management, we are committed to deliver at the given cost, the given time, for the given scope, and with the given quality. A very common example which I always emphasize upon, that if you need a dinner at 8 o'clock in the night, and if that dinner does not comes to you, arrives you at 8 o'clock, and it arrives at 11 o'clock in the night, which is not your regular time of dinner, that delivery of dinner has no meaning for you, because you will arrange the dinner from some other source in that scenario. Similarly, project management, whatever deliveries are there committed to the customer, customer makes further follow plans, further action plans based on your schedule. So if your deliveries are not in time, the customer, because he may be adding value to it further and he will be delivering somewhere else, or he has some commitment to be fulfilled through that delivery of your project. So that delivery is very important, very effectively required to be delivered in time to the customer. Project management another importance is it resolves problems and issues, whatever existing problems are going on. So it helps you to mitigate those problems. Risk mitigation is also supported by project management, because sometimes for the expected risk of business or any nature, we do a project. It optimizes the use of organizational resources because the resources are well planned. So it is optimizing the resources of organizational resources to make it more effective and more resource sharing among the organization. Because the resource loading histogram are well prepared in project management, which clearly indicates at which point of time we'll be needing how much manpower. If your peak manpower required is 100 to execute the project, and that is a peak maybe coming at some X month of your project life cycle, but you don't need that 100 manpower today. You need maybe 20. So accordingly, within your organization, if you have those human resources, you can optimize the resource loading so that other functions of organizations can also work accordingly without adding an additional resources which are idling for a couple of months. Identify, recover, or terminate failing projects. That is also very important. The importance of project management is not to only keep doing the project. If that project is not meeting your objective anymore now, once you take a review, you're done a planning, you're done a feed, that means you're done an engineering for the project, correct? And during that phase, you come to know that that objective is no longer exist. So terminate the project. Why to invest the money? Even you started the execution of the project and you realize project sponsor and project owner and project manager, they realize that this project is no more required now. Stop the project. Don't make the further losses. Project management manages the constraint. This is very important thing. I said that scope, quality, schedule, cost, and resources. So these are all the constraints which are taken care in the project execution. At the same time, adjustment order to the contract, variation order to the contracts, which may be coming because of stakeholders' scope change. Stakeholder needs something to be added, something to be deleted. Correct? So those management of change also dealt in the project management. So you are not rigid. You are ready to accept the changes. Okay. You are ready to accept the changes through management of change procedure to accommodate the change in scope, cost, or schedule parameters or the constraints of the project management. We talked about project management, suppose, but if the projects are not managed properly, project management practices are not used. Good practices, as we discussed yesterday session or the previous session one we discussed. So the project management practices are absent. Poorly managed projects, they result into, we all know, and broadly I can express those, what we miss through this or what we are not able to achieve when the projects are poorly managed. We are missing deadlines, schedule is not complied, overruns, probably investor may not invest. They says your cost is going very high, I cannot support you more. Cost overrun. So risk of the cost overrun is you don't get the money more from the investors. Poor quality. Quality management practices, quality management program was not there or not implemented. So the product, what you are expecting, is of not the same quality. Rework. Keep doing the things are not done. Left hand doesn't know what right hand is doing, right hand doesn't know what left hand is doing. And because when they want to together collaborate, they found that both of their works are at 180 degree opposite to each other. So it's leading to rework of at least one of them. Uncontrolled expansion of the project. If you are not having the project management, right project management practices, you will keep changing your objectives, you will keep changing your strategies. The project becomes uncontrolled. One stakeholder is telling one thing, second stakeholder is telling second thing, and you keep accommodating the things, and the project will not have a definite completion. Loss of reputation for the organization, that is the most important thing. And for this, I will simply give one example. And you can find in the industry also this. If you pass by somewhere the industrial zones, or if you pass by some big downtown area where a couple of commercial complexes are there, you will find that one of the commercial complex is made ready in just a period of time, 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. And the next building to it is there, not yet construction completed, and maybe the period of 10 years. Tower cranes are there, half structure is there. Okay, still construction is ongoing. So it's a very obvious question when you are passing by that street, you are going to ask this question to yourself, that what is this building, which project it belongs to, which company it belongs to. So it leads to loss of reputation for the organization. Unsatisfied stakeholders. Yes, that is very important. After reading all the bullets above, for sure, the customers, stakeholders will not be satisfied because they are not getting quality, they are not getting the price, they are not getting the in time. And the summary statement of all above: failure in achieving the objectives for which the project was initiated. Simple and straight. We have taken the project, yesterday we discussed this point. We have taken the project to fulfill our objective, is our driver. So we failed to meet our objectives. In today's business environment, organizational leaders need to be able to manage with tighter budget, shorter timelines, scarcity of resources, and rapidly changing technology. This is the problem statement of today's industry. Project managers, organizational leaders are hard pressed because there is a competitive era. So budgets are less. You have to produce the same thing at much cheaper price, meeting the quality, meeting the technology changes. Resources are limited. Timelines are limited. The business environment is dynamic with an accelerating rate of change. Yes, we all know this. There is an acceleration. Industrial growths, manufacturing percentages in all the GDPs across the globe, they are increasing day by day. So entrepreneurship is increasing. That is leading to an accelerated business environment. To remain competitive in the world economy, companies are embracing project management to consistently deliver business values. To remain competitive in world economy, see the big word. Because in the global era, global supply chain management in place, the goods are manufactured in one country for another country. So in this era, the good project management practices make sure that things are built in time, things are built as per plan, services are provided as planned, correct? And ultimately, all this is required to achieve the objective and business values. I did not express efficiency at the first slide. I just folded my thoughts on for this particular slide. You can see that the gentleman can achieve the objective or he can reach to the goal by doing an efficiency. Yes, there's no doubt in that. There's no doubt in that. That efficiency is essentially required to manage the project management constraints. There's no doubt in that. But at the same time, there is one more important factor, which is called effective. So the most important thing is Efficiency is required. There's no doubt in that. But efficient or efficiency without effectiveness will always have a challenge. Effectiveness will keep you connected with the strategic objectives of the business. Effectiveness will make you more competitive, more strength to fight the competition in the market. Effectiveness with efficiency will able to sustain the organization. The simple example of effective and efficiency is you may produce 100 toys in a day. You have a toy manufacturing company. You are very efficient. But in case of particular season, when those toys are sold at a lesser quantity, if it required to be produced more or less, any market demand. So you will be more effective when you connect your efficiency with the market demand. That is called effectiveness. You are able to address the market demand. If market needs 200 toys, you have the system, you have the facilities, you have an infrastructure, or you have an business arrangement to make it deliver 200 toys per day. So effectiveness is essentially required to respond to impact of business environment, changes on project by appropriately adjusting project management plans. Tweaking, making it more effective. Now we will see a broad spectrum. In the coming session, we'll be doing more deep dive into the project management. But before that, the thing which need to be understood very clearly, that in the field of project management, there are some 3-4 terminologies are very important to understand. One is called the project management. Second is called program management. Third is called portfolio management. And one is called operations management. How they are interlinked, what they are exactly, okay? We will see in our subsequent slide, but normally the project management, program management, and portfolio management are the very common terminology used in business. A project may be managed in 3 separate scenarios. As a standalone project. This is first scenario. It is not part of any portfolio or program. We'll see what portfolio program is. Second is, a project can be executed within a program. Okay. Or a project can be executed within a portfolio. So the project, one project or single unit of project can be executed as a standalone, or it can be executed under the umbrella of program management or under the umbrella of portfolio management. Project managers interact with portfolio and program manager when a project is within the program or portfolio. Very simple. As we were discussing so far, there is a called a project manager who is responsible. We will get into the more details of project manager, what are his responsibility roles in subsequent sessions. But so far, project manager is responsible for project management. Similarly, for program management, there is a program manager. For portfolio management, there is a portfolio manager. So there are three different identities. They could be common, that's a different issue. But he will be holding a two designation. He may be a program manager also, as well as he could be a project manager also. But there will be a different, clearly defined designations, positions. I'm just giving an example now. Multiple projects may be needed to accomplish a set of goals and objectives for an organization. In those situations, project may be grouped together into a program. Correct? And this is very simple, that multiple projects are required to meet an objective. And those projects can be identified as an independent identity or independent nature. So to keep them away and as an independent project will be more effective to manage the constraints. And what could be an example of this? I'm just giving you a very common example. Okay. Say when a township comes, okay, a township need to be developed, correct? So for the township and need to be developed, in that, and say this is a program right now. A township development is a program. But what projects will be there inside this township development, that need to be understood very clearly. First of all, when you are developing a township or a city or a town, you need to create first the infrastructure over there. You got a greenfield land. So in that greenfield land, you will have to create a basic infrastructure. And what is that basic infrastructure? The ground where you are going to make a township or a city or a town. That should be leveled. That should be a plain, should be made plain. It should have roads. It should have street lights. It should have water supply, sewage connection, electricity connection, correct? Once you bring all these things as a part of infrastructure in that township program, then you can think of developing or constructing the buildings over there. So the township program is having first project called infrastructure development. Road, electricity, water, sewage, everything. Second project may be commercial complexes. Third project could be residential compounds. Fourth project could be the cafeterias. Fifth could be big shopping complex or the malls. So this is how you build a program of city or township. That's a program with multiple projects. And that makes the job easy. You are distributing the jobs. Resource pressure will be more better. So that's basically the concept. A program is defined as a group of related projects They're all related. When you are making a township, the objective is to make a township. So whether it is infrastructure, commercial hubs, residential hubs, all they are related. So the program is defined as a group of related projects, subsidiary programs, and program activities managed in a coordination manner to obtain benefit not available from managing them individually. That's very clear. By the township example, it's very clear to you. Programs are not large projects. A very large project may be referred to as a mega project. As a guide, mega project cost, there are some various country to country, depends on the area to area. Any mega project more than 1 billion, okay, or it has run in the years. So that's for 2 minutes. Just consider that is a definition of mega project, high value projects. But program are not the large projects. You are breaking your job into the small segments of the project. So you cannot say that the program is a mega project, because mega project is like when you are building up a plant, a big refinery, correct? Or a big highway project, 500-kilometer highway projects, correct? So that is something different. But here I gave you an example, which is a program. Some organizations may employ the use of project portfolio to effectively manage multiple programs and projects that are underway at any given time. Now we just came to discuss about portfolio. A portfolio is defined as projects, program, subsidiary portfolio, and operations managed as a group to achieve strategic objective. Program management and portfolio management differ from project management in their life cycle, activities, objectives, focus, and benefits. Let me read the second paragraph also, then I will just try to explain this concept. Portfolio, program, project, or operations often engage with the same stakeholder and may need to use the same resources, which may result in a conflict in the organization. This type of situation increases the need for coordination within the organization through the use of portfolio, program, and project management to achieve a workable balance in the organizations. Portfolio management is a big stage. You are managing the whole portfolio of the company, correct? Like portfolio management, if I say an example, you are holding the steel plants across your region. You will be holding like 20 plants. And those 20 plants which are manufacturing steel are located at different locations. Some of them are in construction stage. Some of them are in operation stage. Correct? So ultimately, you are managing the whole portfolio of steel manufacturing to meet your business objective with a target to be #1 in the region. And even in addition to this 20, you need more capacity. So you may be importing your steel from the world market with your branding, correct, to meet the steel demand in your region. So the portfolio management is managing the operations, managing the existing assets, managing the new projects to maintain or to develop the additional capacity, okay, as required to meet your business objectives. So portfolio is a bigger term. And surely when you are managing this, there are going to be a lot of conflicts, because resource utilization, financial its resources means only not human resources. It could be a financial resource also. Fund mobilization, All these issues may come into when you share the resources. Oh, like a very simple example, a pictorial view of your sample portfolio. You can see that the portfolio is basically driven by organizational strategy, what strategy you are having. Correct? Say, for example, you want to be region 1 steel supplier in the region, correct? So that is your organizational strategy, correct? So, sorry, that is the vision and mission. So you will make a strategy for that. So in that strategy, your broad strategy says 80% will produce and 20% we will import. So for to manage that 80% production within your region, you are developing a portfolio. You can add that 20% import also into the portfolio. Okay. So for this, you will be having couple of programs, couple of projects under it, couple of operations ongoing. Correct? Correct. You may take over some assets in your region. So you will directly have a inbuilt capacity you got, ready-made capacity you got. So you will deal with the operations. And for all these things, there will be shared resources and stakeholders. Always remember, the resources and stakeholders are an important phenomena in the business, in the project management, portfolio management, program management. Because till the time you don't optimize your resources, you will be doing a lot of resource wastage. If you're not able to collaborate with your all stakeholders, probably you may lose the business objective. Very simple definition of portfolio. The portfolio components are grouped together to facilitate the effective governance and management of the work that helps to achieve organizational strategies and priorities, keeping in view vision and mission of the organization. The portfolio views allows organizations to see how the strategic goals are reflected in the portfolio and also enables the implementation and coordination of appropriate portfolio program and project governance. That's very important. Coordinated governance allows authorized allocation of human, financial, and physical resources. Yes. No conflict on resources front. And that resources could be anything: physical resources, human resources, financial resources. You can draw your own portfolio. You can take one of the industry and you keep a target that you want to be number one in that. That is your vision and mission. So for that, what will be your strategy? How you will build your portfolio? So that is an exercise you can take on. This is a very important thing to understand the difference from this table. We'll be having 2 slides about the things, the basic difference between the projects, program, and portfolio management. So I just want to go with the basics now, because by this time I gave a couple of examples, so it will be easy to understand all these comparison portions. So definition for the projects. A project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. This we studied in our previous session also. Now a program. A program is a group of related projects. I gave an example of township, okay? A program is a group of related projects, subsidiary programs, and program activities that are managed in a coordinated manner to obtain benefits not available from managing them individually. It was well explained in the township example. Portfolio. A portfolio is a collection of projects, program, subsidiary portfolios, and operations managed as a group to achieve strategic objectives. Portfolio is linked directly to the strategic objectives, vision and mission statements. Scope. Projects have defined objectives. Scope is progressively elaborated throughout the project life cycle. We know the scope finally, but elaboration happens throughout the project life cycle. Programs have a scope that encompasses the scopes of its program components. Program produces benefit to an organization by ensuring that outputs and outcome of program components are delivered in a coordinated and complementary manner. Township example for program. Infrastructure done, but township development not yet started. And the infrastructure, you roads, electricity, water pipeline, what you have developed for that township is lying idle for next 10 years. So the program management was not correct, or it did not meet the objective for what it was developed, because you wanted a township over there, not just the roads and street lights. So that's why coordinated efforts are very important. Portfolios have an organizational scope that changes with the strategy objective of the organization. Portfolio is linked to your strategic objective of the organization. Always remember. So you deal your portfolio with that concept. Because you take a decision in portfolio management if there is going to be a recession in the market, if the demand is going to reduce, correct? So in that scenario, probably you may shut off your one of the operations to reduce your demand because overheads will be more. So it is linked to a business strategy, clearly. Change. Project manager expect change and implement process to keep change managed and control. Management of change. Program are managed in a manner that accepts and adopts to changes as necessary to optimize the delivery of benefit as the program's component deliver outputs. Correct? So manageable. Portfolio managers continuously monitor changes in the broader internal and external environment. That's another important thing. Portfolios need to be continuously linked to the beyond the boundaries, external environment. Of course, that external environment could impact your intern. It could impact your program or it could impact your project. That's a different issue. But the area of working broadly covers within the boundaries of projects and programs. Planning aspect. Project manager progressively elaborate high-level information into detailed plan throughout the project life cycle. Level 1 schedule, level 2 schedule, work breakdown, level 3 schedules, level 5 schedules, resource loadings, micro scheduling. All these things are done progressively during project life cycles. We'll understand this micro scheduling and what's in our subsequent sessions, but it's minute, step by step. More means if you have a plan for days, you break that plan to hours. But after that, you break that hour to the minutes. That way breaking off the sub-layer breakings. Programs are managed using high-level plans that track the interdependencies and progress of program components. Program plans are also used to guide planning at the component levels. See, at the program level, as a program manager, really you're not worried. You're not concerned, okay, about the micro detailing of each project. What your concern is that they should develop themselves so that they can individual project can deliver their goods in time, so that the collaborative journey of the whole program completes as planned. If there is an issue with that, program manager definitely would like to get into details of individual project also. There is no restriction on that. But broadly in principle, it's the knowing the overall project's progress of each project under the programs and seeing their cascading effect, their collaborative effect. Portfolio managers create and maintain necessary processes and communicate relative to the aggregate portfolios. That's very clear. That will be done at the level of portfolios. Who manages management? Project is managed by project manager. Programs are managed by program managers, and portfolio is managed by portfolio managers. Monitoring. Monitoring is also done by project manager, program manager, and portfolio manager. The most important thing, success and success measurement. In projects, success is measured by product and project quality, timeliness, budget compliances, and degree of customer satisfaction. You want to deliver a plant or you want to deliver a services, you deliver in time, you deliver with the given quality, you deliver in the given budget, and your customer is satisfied. That is the success of your project. Program. A program success is measured by program's ability to deliver its intended benefit to an organization and by the program efficiency and effectiveness in delivering those benefits. Basically, individual projects, when they are seamlessly integrated to meet a big program, program is also successful. But when we come to portfolio now, success is measured in terms of the aggregate investment performance and benefit relation of the portfolio linked to company's vision mission, company's objective, and company strategy. I am doing project, very good. I am doing programs, very good. But what is the benefit relation for the company? What are the advantages it is leading to a company? What is the financial gain? So the portfolio management deals with the investment performance and benefit relations. That is the measure of the success. And that's the reason why the businesses are done, to gain the profit, to realize the profit. I will just go over this things to understand in a better way, a little more deep. A program component refers to projects and other programs within a program. Project management focuses on interdependencies within a project to determine the optimal approach for managing the project. Program management focuses on interdependence between project and between projects and the program level to determine the optimal approach for managing them. Actions related to these program and project level interfaces may include, I already explained this in the previous slides, okay? Aligning with organizational or strategic direction that affect program and project goals and objectives. It's an alignment, basically, vertical alignment. Allocating the program scope into program components. That is what we do. Program components could be a sub-program or it could be a project. So allocating the program scope. Who will do what? That's a very important decision. Managing interdependencies among the components of the program to best serve the program. Yes, that's the most important thing. We discussed this. Managing program risk that may impact multiple projects in the program. Risk mitigation is very important. Very simple example. You have a program for a township, correct? But the environmental clearance for making the township is still pending. And the project started, the subcomponent of program started. And suddenly one day, fine morning, you don't get an approval of environmental authority to construct the township over there. So it is impacting the whole township. It is impacting all the projects initiated, subcomponents of programs initiated. So we have to make sure that the risks are mitigated in advance, or you should have a sufficient mitigation plan and programs in place and action to ensure uninterrupted continuation of projects and programs. Resolving constraints and conflict that affect multiple projects within the program. Yes, we know that. If there are multiple projects are going on together, there will be a conflict. There will be a constraints. Lot of huge tons and tons of data will be moving from one project to another projects. There will be conflict of data, conflict of information, conflict of timelines. And those issues need to be resolved. Change requests need to be managed. Allocation of budget. One project is asking a budget, another project is also asking budget, but your cash flow is restricted. You cannot meet demand of both today. So that is allocating the budget is always a challenge. And the most important thing is that realizing in spite of all these things, realizing the benefit from the program component is very important. Example of program, another example of a program is a new communication satellite system with projects for the design and construction of satellite and the ground station, the launch of satellite, another thing, and integration of the system. So it could have multiple components which are addressed through multiple projects. Portfolio management. The aim of portfolio management is to guide organizational investment decision. Yes. Select the optimal mix of program and projects to meet strategic objectives. How many projects you need, how many programs you need, how much operations you will continue, how much import you will substitute. Provide decision-making transparencies. That is very important. Prioritize team and physical resource allocation. Peak load will be something, a great number, but how you optimize it, how you level it, so that you don't waste or you don't have the idling of resources. Increase the likelihood of realizing the desired return on investment. Yes. Centralize the management of aggregate risk profile of all components. That is also very important. Portfolio management also confirms that the portfolio is consistent with and aligned with organizational strategies. Maximizing the value of the portfolio requires careful examination of the components that comprise the portfolio. Components are prioritized so that those contributing the most to the organizational strategic objectives have the required financial, team, and physical resources. Definition of prioritization. You have the investors, you got the money from the investors, or you got a loan from the bank, and your money is idling because you did not have a prioritization. You do not have a prioritization plan. And at the same time, money is lying sometimes surplus additionally for a considerable period. Sometimes you are starving for the money, resources, financial issues. I'll read this for you. For example, an infrastructure organization for portfolio management, an infrastructure organization that has the strategic objective of maximizing the return on its investment may put together a portfolio that includes a mix of projects in oil and gas, power, water, roads, rail, and airport. From this mix, the organization may choose to manage related projects as one portfolio, all of the power projects may be grouped together as a one power portfolio. This is very interesting to understand. Huh? The big giant in the world, they are diversifying. If they were started their business from one field, which could be IT or public transport, so they diversified into different business strategies, business models. They went to power, they went to water, they went to oil and gas. So now under their portfolio, there are many sub portfolios, or it could be group of portfolios, power portfolio, oil and gas portfolio, maybe steel also. And they're managing this portfolio. Why? Because of medical health. Okay, take one portfolio more. The concept which I'm trying to make here is that, in addition to what is there on the slide, that the most important thing is that you are diversifying your portfolio components, because if the recession comes in one, the boom may come in another one. And there will be some businesses which will be evergreen. FMCG, correct? So they will be keep growing with their speed. But if the steel has a recession, another sector may have a up. So you are able to manage a considerable good value out of your investment in the business model. So this is how the portfolio management is done with the help of a market mix. We'll understand operations management. Operation management is an area that is outside the scope of formal project management. Let's understand it very clearly. Operation management is concerned with the ongoing production of goods or services. It ensures that business operations continue efficiently by using the optimal resource needed to meet customer demand. It is concerned with managing processes that transform inputs into outputs. I need not elaborate more about it. This is a very simple. Operation management is running the existing operations, converting input into the output, product and services. Operation versus project management. Okay, just I'll read it. It's very simple, but to make you understand, because we have discussed operation management in our portfolio management slide. That's why we have to get into more into it. Changes in business operations may be the focus of a project, especially when there are substantial changes to the business operations as a result of a new product or services deliveries. Ongoing operations are outside the scope of a project. However, there are intersecting points where the two areas crosses. Projects are intersect with operation at the various points during the product life cycle, such as, see, operation is going on, but the project management has no day-to-day interaction with operation management. But operation management and the project management, they come in contact in some of the scenarios. When you are developing a new product, correct? You are expanding, you are upgrading, you need a development process. This is a redevelopment process, modification process, expansion process, correct? In your existing operations, existing business model. So for that, you need to add some plants and machineries. You may have to add some new plants, or you have to add the new technology in the brownfield concept to your existing operations. So then the project comes in contact with operation. Improvisation process. And at the same time, at the end of product life cycle, after 20-25 years, when you are closing out the phase of operations, project management comes into the picture as a project closeout. And the most important thing is whatever the knowledge are collected during all these projects, correct? So at each point, deliverables and knowledge are transferred between the project and operations for implementation of delivered works. There is a free flow of information, free flow of knowledge between the operations and projects. Then only projects will be able to meet the expectation of operations. This implementation occurs through a transfer of project resources or knowledge to operations, or through a transfer of operational resources to the projects. That's very simple. A very important terminology which is called organizational project management, OPM. Organizational project management, OPM, and strategies. And what is that exactly? Let's understand it. Alignment with the organization's strategic business goal can be achieved through the systematic management of portfolio, program, and projects, through the application of organizational project management, OPM. OPM is defined as a framework in which portfolio, program, and project management are integrated with organizational enablers in order to achieve strategic objectives. This is something which is a unique identity, which is called organizational project management. It has to ensure seamless integration or a framework of project, portfolio, and program. Have a look on this diagram. You have the strategy, extreme left, you can see. It is driving the portfolio and a value decision. That portfolio is driving a program and projects, correct? And where we are getting the results and deliveries. And then it is being handed over finally to the operations. Continuous business value realization. In this whole trade, portfolio, program, and projects, they always keep looking for business impact analysis. Correct? They are doing a business impact analysis. They are giving a feedback to each other. And operations giving a feedback to the strategy portfolio, where value performance analysis is done. From this business, what value has been generated? And what that value required a strategical change. So you can see a direct feedback of value performance analysis from operations to the strategy core. And the portfolio review and adjustments are done together with program. The purpose of OPM is to ensure that the organization undertake the right projects. Let's understand this point, very important. The purpose of OPM is to ensure that the organization undertake the right projects and allocate critical resources appropriately. OPM also helps to ensure that all levels in the organizations undertake the strategic vision, the initiatives that support the vision, the objectives, and deliverables. So this is creating an organizational environment to select the right portfolios, to connect the vision and mission statement of the organization.